everyone, so hope all of you are doing fine. Today I'm actually going to show a dish where the chicken actually goes through two marination processes. So it's called the double marination, and the first stage is where we actually marinate it using certain ingredients that make the chicken pieces nice and tender and ready to receive the other spices and things. So first I'm going to make the chicken pieces nice and tender by marinating it in few ingredients, and then I'm going to leave it there for about 30 minutes so it gets a chance to infuse those ingredients and become nice and tender. Once it's nice and tender, that's when we add in the extra spices and other ingredients. So that's the second marination process. So usually Arabs do that for their chicken, but I'm not going to call it an Arabic chicken or Arabic grilled or baked or fried chicken, because when they do this or use this double marination process, when they grill their chicken, they always give it a nice smoky flavor. I don't know if how many of you have tried the Arabic grilled or fried chicken. So they normally cook it using coal or charcoal, so they have that special oven to do that. So I'm not going to give it that smoky flavor, but I'm just going to grill or bake the chicken the same way that I normally do at home. But the only difference is going to be that it's going to go through this double marination process. So two steps of marinating with two batches of ingredients that's used for marinating the chicken. So this would be something new, because I have normally I just put everything together, marinate the chicken, and then leave it in the fridge or outside for minimum of 1 hour, maximum overnight. But today it's a little bit different, so it's something new and it's a different way I'm going to try it. So hope you guys will enjoy this video. As always, subscribe to my YouTube channel for other lovely dishes and recipes. Take care. Bye. Yeah, I've got about 500 grams of chicken pieces. First I'm going to slit the chicken pieces. So I'm going to slit it nice and deep. So I'm going to make very deep cuts on each piece of the chicken. There we are. So I made some very deep slits on each chicken piece. First, before putting on all the spices for marinating it, I want the chicken pieces to become nice and tender. So I'll be adding in a few ingredients into this before adding in the spices for marination. I'll just season it with some salt and pepper. Next, I'm going to add in about 3 to 4 tablespoons of yogurt into that. Then I'm going to add in about 1.5 tablespoons of lime juice, 1 heaped tablespoon of ginger garlic paste, along with 1 tablespoon of green chili paste. Next, I'm going to mix it up nicely using my hands so that all chicken pieces get a chance to be nicely coated with this marination mixture. There we are. See, nicely massage it in. So deep through the slits of the chicken as well. Nice and lovely. So now I'm going to let it sit there for about 45 minutes so that the chicken pieces get a chance to become nice and tender and flavorsome. In the meantime, I'm going to start preparing the spices in order to marinate the chicken. Well, not only spices, few other items will be going into the marinade as well. So here in my blender, I've added in 1 onion, about 6 cherry tomatoes, half of a capsicum, 1 stem curry leaves, and about 4 green chilies, along with about 15 cashew nuts, and I'm going to blend it all up together. There we are. So now we got this lovely chunky looking paste. You can make it even smoother if you want to. I'm going to transfer this into a bowl. This marinade mixture is so flavorsome, it smells so good, but then I haven't added the spices into it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dry roast some spice powder so that I can put that into this as well. Yeah, I've got 1 tablespoon of coriander powder and 2 tablespoons of cumin powder. And I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of cardamom powder, 1 teaspoon of cloves powder, 1 teaspoon of cracked black peppercorns, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. Next, I'm going to place this off into a pan and dry roast it. I'm not adding any oil, just dry roasting it until the raw smell goes away. Very aromatic marinade for our chicken, isn't it? So at this point, I'm going to preheat my baking oven at about 250 degrees. Give this a good mix. And already it's starting to smell so good. So it's smoking up. We don't want to burn it, just want to turn it into a nice brown color. There we are. And once the masala is nice and ready, I'm going to take it off the heat. Then place it into our masala paste that we had blended up earlier. I'm also going to add in 1 tablespoon of red chili paste into that. You can add in 1.5 tablespoons if you like. And then I'm going to give it all a good mix and combine it nicely together. There we are. And once that's done, I'm going to add in our chicken pieces into this and marinate it for about 4 hours to overnight. But for the sake of finishing off this video and recording it fully, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to marinate it for about an hour, and then I'm going to bake it off and grill it. And that's the reason why I had preheated my baking oven already to 250 degrees. So just taking the chicken pieces and placing it off into this. And I'm going to give it all a good mix together. Using your hands is the best way to do it so that you can nicely mix it all well. Make sure that the chicken pieces is nicely coated with the masala. Alright, so I'm going to let it marinate for about an hour, and then I'm going to place it off into the baking oven. So I'm marinating it for such a short time only because of the video recording purposes, because I want to finish up this video. And yes, so for baking you don't need to literally marinate it for a long time, because it's a slower process of cooking and the chicken will still have the flavors nice and infused. But if you're pan frying it, which is a faster process, what happens is you will have to marinate it for quite some time, at least 4 hours minimum, in order for the flavors to infuse nicely. If you're pan frying it, the best way to do it is just place everything into a pan and cover it with a lid. Let the chicken cook first for about 20 minutes, then remove the lid and then fry it, just saute it, you know. So then once it's ready and nicely fried, the chicken will be ready. Or you can even place it off into a grill pan in order to give it those grill marks. Alright, so yeah, I've got my baking tray lined with aluminium foil. I'm going to add in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter onto this. The chicken pieces have been marinating for a while now. Once the butter is placed onto the baking tray, we can place the chicken into this. There we are. First I'm placing the pieces on top of that. There we go, and if there's any leftover marinade, I'm going to place that on top of the chicken pieces as well. But this marinade sauce is so lovely and flavorsome. Oh my god, if you could just get the smell of it, you would just fall in love with it instantly. Alright, so once the masala and everything is nicely placed on top of the chicken, you can see that I've placed all the masala onto the baking oven along with the chicken. I'm going to cover this up nicely with an aluminium foil and place it off into the baking oven at 250 degrees for about 20 minutes. Once it's nicely cooked and done baking in the baking oven, what I would do is I might even place it off into the grill in order to give it that nice grilled look. There we are, all covered nicely, and it's ready to go off into the baking oven. After 20 minutes, I've taken it out of the baking oven. I'm going to open it. So look at it. Lovely, isn't it? Nice and flavorsome. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on to the other side and leave it open and place it back into the baking oven for about 10 minutes. There we are, and back into the baking oven it goes. I'm going to leave it open this time so that the water gets a chance to evaporate. There we are, so after 10 minutes of leaving it open into the baking oven, this is what it looks like. Now there are a few things that can be done with this. If I want the gravy, I can just set the gravy aside now. So this is like a semi-dry gravy, isn't it? So I can set it aside and just take the pieces and put it off into a grill oven and just grill it so it gets those nice burn marks. The other option is just to turn the pieces and put it back into the baking oven and keep doing that, you know, at intervals. Every 5 minutes, take it out, turn it, put it back into the baking oven until it gets that nice golden brown, the dark grilled mark colors come on it. So you can see here that already some of the pieces have got that nice dark grilled sort of a mark on it. And that's what I think I'll be doing. So I won't be just separating the pieces and taking it and then putting it into a grill oven again. So I'll just do everything in the baking oven itself. Also, since I'm making a dry baked chicken today, I'm not going to keep the gravy aside either. I'm just going to take the gravy like this and then just place it on top of the pieces. So you can see the masala. So I'm going to do that to all the pieces and just turn it onto the other side and place it back into the baking oven. So I'm going to leave it open in the baking oven until it nicely dries up. You can see here that I want the masala to be maximum on top of the chicken pieces, so not on the baking tray. So that's what I'm doing, just placing the masala on top of the chicken and taking it off the baking tray, the excess ones. There we are, all nicely done, and back into the baking oven it goes. Like I had mentioned before, if you don't want to put it into the baking oven, you can even just place it off into the grill to give it that nice grill look. but I'm just doing it this way because my baking oven is already hot, so I don't want to turn on the grill again and wait for that to become hot. So this is the easiest way for me at the moment. And after a few minutes of tossing and turning the chicken, the masala should become nice and dry and stick onto the chicken, and the chicken should become nice and fried. So now it's time to plate it up. There we are, everyone. Look at this lovely sight. So nice and flavorsome, nicely fried and roasted in the baking oven. So well baked with all the masalas and flavors nice and intact. Now the reason we use the double marination method for this chicken is so that while it fries or grills or bakes, depending on what you do with it, it also has to be nice and tender. So very soft. See, it's just falling apart. Look at that. Nice and steamy. So don't have to use much pressure, you know, it just comes off the bone. Here's another one, just tucking into it. So you can see how easy that is. See, it's just falling off the bone. Look how juicy it is inside. See, and so flavorsome. So this is the good thing about the double marination method, that, you know, the pieces become nice and tender as well. So it's not as hard and it's very juicy. It's easy to tuck in and it's much tastier as well. Who wouldn't want to have a bite of this lovely, delicious, tender, flavorsome chicken, huh? Next time you make chicken, if you're grilling it or frying it or baking it or roasting it, give this double marination method a try. So you will get nice tender pieces. While it's tender, at the same time the chicken will infuse all the lovely flavors into it as well. So as you can see, you know, look at it. Apart from that, here it is, everyone, a lovely chicken. So it's nicely baked, well roasted using the double marination method. So it's ready. Enjoy. Bye.